I wish you both presidents a fruitful dialogue in the interest of your two countries and the world. Best wishes and goodbye.
Goodbye.
And you repair relations today, sir. How will you pressure Putin today? Do you feel prepared, Mr. President? Will you find common ground?
How'd that go? I thought it would be a big nothing burger. I've not been part of the pile-on of excitement that is the news media. I just didn't think that anything would come of it. So apparently they were supposed to meet for 4 or 5 hours in Geneva, which, lovely Geneva in the summer. Stunning. But other than that, what is there to see? They didn't do a joint press conference together because, Biden didn't want to be on a stage with Putin. Putin wanted to be on a stage with Donald Trump so that he could point to this, this turd in the punch bowl who was, our American president and say, see, I did that. And Trump wanted to be on a stage with Putin so he could glance up at Putin every once in a while and go, is my ass licking okay? More? Okay, more. You know what I mean? So Biden didn't want to be on a stage with Putin. Putin didn't, care, I don't think, about being on a stage with Biden. They were supposed to talk for 4 or 5 hours. They were going to have, initial meetings and then a break and then a second round of one-on-ones. And then there were going to be, enhanced meetings with staffers, and then they would come in and they would handle the details of whatever the two leaders agreed upon, and then there would be pull-asides, and that where they pull somebody aside and they pose, or they none of that happened. None of it. There was one meeting, I think it lasted 90 minutes. They went to the bathroom, they came back, and they brought in Putin brought in, what's his name? Sergei, not Kislyak, the other one, the one that was in the Oval Office that Donald Trump was saying, hey, we did it. That one, the ambassador. And we brought our Secretary of State, Blinken, and that was it. And then everybody left, and then the question and answers began. And the press, I just have this feeling that the press was tougher on Putin than Biden. Look, Biden went there. He said he went there to stabilize relations, whatever the hell that means. I guess that means stop the hacking into our meat plants and stop the hacking into our pipelines. Go arrest some hackers that are criminal enterprises in your freaking country. Go do that before they hack into you or whatever it is. And then, if you're in the mood, maybe you could stop massing your soldiers on the border of eastern Ukraine. Think about giving back Crimea. I don't know, and get the hell out of Syria. Biden said we'll know whether or not anything, was complied with in 6 months. So that's what happened. I mean, and then the press, came in. Rachel Scott from ABC News. Boy, she's strong. She's very strong. She stood up to Putin, and I just suspect that she stood up to him in a way that nobody else did.
The list of your political opponents who are dead, prisoned, or jailed is long. Alexei Navalny's organization calls for free and fair elections, an end to corruption. But Russia has outlawed that organization, calling it extremist. And you have now prevented anyone who supports him to run for office. So my question is, Mr. President, what are you so afraid of?
Right, well, once again, I would like to repeat what I said about so-called foreign agents and the people who say that they are part of the unauthorized opposition. I've already spoken to your colleagues. Now I have to repeat that to you. Okay, once again, the U.S. has passed a law which said that the U.S. would particularly favor individual organizations in Russia. And at the same time, they declared the Russian Federation as an enemy. They publicly declared that they will try to contain Russia. My question is, which organizations, which political organizations in the U.S. Are going to be supported by the U.S., especially if they pay them?
Okay, what? She really knocked him back on his heels. She really did. I mean, he was off his lunch. He was off his talking point. He didn't even expect that question. But that's Rachel Scott from ABC News, who said the list of your political enemies that are dead, poisoned, or jailed is really stinking long. Would you like to explain why that is? And okay, well then, and then she stood up and had a rebuttal.
You didn't answer my question, sir. If all of your political opponents are dead, in prison, poisoned, doesn't that send a message that you do not want a fair political fight?
Well, on the question of who is murdering whom, people rioted and went into the Congress in the U.S. with political demands. And many people were declared as criminals, and they are threatened with imprisonment from 20 to 25 years. And these people were immediately arrested after those events. On what grounds, we don't know always. The states didn't actually inform us about that. One of the participants were just shot on the spot.
Oh, my God. So the Russian talking points about his political opponents being gassed, poisoned, jailed, starved, dead, thrown out windows. His response is whataboutism. I mean, he is a perfect right-wing lunatic. He really is. He fits right in, because his response is, what about the insurrectionists at the Capitol who were breaking windows, who meant to do harm, who actually were, sending messages to each other on Parler and other sick apps saying this is war, we're going to kill the vice president, we're going to overthrow the government, we either get our president or this is war, right? And that they went and they beat police officers, and that Ashley Babbitt, okay, this is what the insurgents in this audience bring up, because it's coming straight from Russia. It's coming straight from Putin's lips, and it's falling out of Congress members' mouths here in the United States. It's falling out of conservatives' mouths here in the United States, that an armed insurrection on the Capitol that included pipe bombs, that included, ferrying guns across, the river, because they knew, no arrests were made at all that day. So we don't know who had what. Ashley Babbitt was breaking into the floor of the House violently with intent to do harm to others. Harm had been done to others. Police officers were crushed, beaten, right? Now you know where the talking points come from. They come from Vladimir Putin. They come right out of his face, and they go right into the head of Paul Gosar. They go right into the head of Marjorie Taylor Greene. They go right into the head of Ron Johnson from Wisconsin. And then they come out of their mouths as if it's a real comparison, that a man who wanted to run against Putin politically is the same as violent insurrectionist. Don't have time to listen to the live show? Want to hear more on your schedule? Go to randyrhodes.com and buy a stinking podcast.